Thanksgiving,
Happy
Heather.
Thanksgiving. I am grateful for you.
I am grateful for you.
Every episode, our recipe Jess makes is the best ever. Oh, here's the deal about me.
I think that's what I'm most proud of, or that's what I love the most, and so thankful.
Tradition matters. Welcome.
Welcome to Stirred Up.
Welcome to Stirred Up. I'm Heath.
I'm Jess.
Today is the last day in this studio, and we wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving before we move out of here.
Happy Thanksgiving.
If you're a Michigan gangster, Mr. Gander, your whole Facebook feed is full of deer heads, dead deer. That is
Any legendary deer that you've seen?
Well, my Reevie, I sent you a pic last
Yeah.
week. Reeve's been hunting for, years, getting up and hunting, and he's never gotten anything, and he got an 8-point.
Yay.
So he was really excited.
It's a gorgeous deer.
Yeah, and, it's getting stuffed or whatever you call it.
Yeah, so he's going to do like a head and shoulder mount?
Yep, not my vibe. But he wants it to
Yeah,
come
like
out of, he wants it, it's going to go above his bed. It's going to come out of his
I was just going to ask. Okay.
It's his room.
That's fine in his room.
I don't care.
So I
I'll
went
put a
up-
Santa hat on it.
Anyways.
I read a data point yesterday or the day before. So opening day of rifle season in Michigan is November 15th. It's
Yeah.
like a national holiday. Bullet Creek, where Jess and I went to school, we had the day off of school. So if this puts it into context for you,
Because
we
so
didn't
many-
have Martin Luther King Day off.
So many people would skip school if it
It wouldn't count for count.
Yeah.
They just finally made it a holiday at Bullet Creek. I don't know if they've worked on the MLK Day yet, but if you're not off
don't
for
know.
school, you should at least be doing something with your service hands on that day. Anyway, that's not the point of today.
Well, kind of give
Well,
thanks.
I mean, give thanks. Give thanks.
give thanks.
Give thanks. Michigan shot. So opening day was the 15th. Today is the 20.
Well, today's Thanksgiving, but like day we're recording this is the 22nd.
Okay, the
It's Friday-
22nd.
Friday
So
before
in
Thanksgiving.
6 days, like over the weekend, basically, Michigan shot over 60,000 deer.
Holy
And Mike
smokes.
was bitching. He was like, "That's why we don't have any big bucks here, because everyone wants to shoot everything in the woods." So
Is that true?
I think the truth probably lies someplace in the middle.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I don't know how many deer we should be shooting
Right.
to keep the population
And you get tags, so if it was a problem, they just wouldn't give out so many tags. I just feel like it's fine. I mean, you see how many dead deer are on the road? Like, it's not a shortage of deer around here.
I don't think that's the problem with the shortage of deer. I think the problem is for hunters, the shortage of deer with big horns, allowing the bucks to mature and not blasting a spike horn.
Totally, for sure.
That's Mike's point.
Got it.
Out of that 61,000, I'm sure the DNR or whoever regulates that, it's the DNR, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, in order for population control, I think you can only shoot every time you shoot another buck. I think in Michigan now the horns are theoretically supposed to be larger than they were on the one before.
Wow, that they can regulate that.
They can, but now you also know where we lived.
Right.
Do people even have hunting licenses there? Because there's gunshots that go off all day long, all year long, all year long.
Well, because you can kill an animal that is like
You can
eating
shoot your gun
crop.
in the air if you want.
Well, yeah, we do that too.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, not in the air. I should have something, but
What are you shooting?
like a target.
Oh, fun.
Plink,
I'm into
plink.
that. Yeah, ping, ping. I just play darts.
I have a picture of that. You playing darts.
You do. I like to play darts. I used to be really good at it, and now I can't hit the broadside of a barn.
I've never been good at it. No, we don't shoot like even for fun as much anymore. But my family on Easter would get together, for Easter, the holiday, and everybody would bring their guns and we'd shoot.
Absolutely. I shot my first rabbit on Easter, and the first and last one I shot. It was traumatizing.
Do people do this? Like, is it just our families? Drop a note in the comments. What are your family traditions, and do you shoot guns?
It's really funny because I didn't ever realize I was a tomboy growing up. And recently, my aunt, who will remain mentioned unnamed because she's nervous I have a podcast, said that I was a tomboy growing up. And she's watched me evolve from a tomboy into, whatever.
Gorgeous young lady.
Oh my God. Emphasis on that fucking young. My uncles and my dad and my cousin, who I did so many things with growing up, were rabbit hunting on Easter Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And they got on this brush pile in the middle of my uncle's cattle field, and they all jumped on it, and I had my 410.
Yeah.
I didn't have any kick,
Oh, no.
and I loved it. And they're like, "Shoot it, sis! Shoot it, Heather!" Whatever. Heather K. And I fucking shot that rabbit. And it was the first, I mean, I was super pumped at the time. And then I got in my bed at night and I was like,
Oh, you felt bad?
Oh my God.
Yeah, but did you eat it?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Well, then you might not have felt so bad because it served its purpose. It, like
My
fed your
auntie,
family.
I mean, no, but my aunt, it didn't go. We didn't just hang out.
Oh,
Like,
sure.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody
Somebody did
ate
something lovely with it. Not me. So that was the first and last thing I shot but yeah, guns, shooting, skeet, that's a big thing this time of year. So in Michigan,
sure.
we've got deer hunting.
Well, I would say maybe the reason why we do it at Easter is because the major hunting seasons are over. If you're out just shooting your guns, you're pissing all of your hunting neighbors off. They're not very happy about that.
Yeah.
I would say maybe you're pushing the deer towards the right people. I don't know. It's a point of perspective. Nobody seems to agree with my perspective, but whatever.
Reeve got his deer. He's super proud of it. His auntie actually commented on Facebook. He was so proud to show everybody his jerky. Like, I'm feeding the family. Like, we're gonna have it
that's what I mean.
We're gonna have it for Thanksgiving with really good cheese from Eastman's. Shout out Eastman Party Store. This is your second shout out.
Yeah.
Half my paycheck that I don't get goes there. No, I'm kidding. So he was really, really, really proud of that.
All the hunters that I've ever talked to about this, or like I've listened even to celebrity hunters like Luke Bryan and even Joe Rogan, they talk about you should feel the remorse and never not feel that. Like always have that.
Respect for the animal.
Yes. And then thank it and feed your family and feel good about it because it is full circle. And we talk about sustainability. Like, it is the most sustainable way we are meant to. I mean, arguably, some people think the origins of how we ate. And
Hunters and gatherers,
it's
my friends.
Only eating as much as you need. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I kind of like about, so Mike took like the back straps and like something else off of it, which
That's the good stuff.
The good stuff. And then they use the whole deer into jerky. So we have so much jerky. So he's super pumped.
Yeah. Really happy for Reeve.
Yeah, thank you. He was pumped. First one. It's 14. That's a long time. Some kids are shooting them at 8, 9 years old.
sure.
So he's waited a really long time.
For sure.
And I think
he's past the youth age, right?
Right. And it was a grown buck. Like it was
big.
3, 4. It was a big guy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, thanks.
Even for an 8-point, it was a big 8-point.
Yeah,
I mean,
you think?
some 8-points can be like.
We took it
cute.
to the taxidermist yesterday. Our friends from hockey, they own a taxidermy place. It's where Mike and his brothers take their bucks when they go out west, Tyler particularly. It's a 10-month wait.
Oh yeah, not surprised at all.
10 months.
Easily.
Do you know how long that is to a 14-year-old?
Oh, that's a good point.
In his mind, he thinks he's never getting it back. Ever.
Yeah.
So it'll be an exciting day. You know what I mean? It'll be this time next year or a little before, like early fall when he gets his deer. So that'll be cool, like a pump up for next season.
Yeah.
And it's not cheap. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
No, I know, it's crazy.
Like hundreds. Couple traumatizing stories from being a kid and people with stuffed animals. So
like not stuffed animals, like
legit tigers in their living rooms with antelopes and bear rugs.
Are you serious?
On God. My grandfather, so if you know me, you know I lost my grandfather last March. He was 100. And his parents were Italian immigrants, and they immigrated to the UP to work in the iron ore mines, and that's where everyone settled. And so my Uncle Tony was my grandfather August's brother, Antonio, and Tony was probably my size. My papa was a big man, over 6 foot tall, huge hands, and Uncle Tony was like littler than me, and he wore a belt buckle and Wrangler, like cowboy boots. He was like an Italian cowboy, like literally. And when you walked into that man's house, I remember being maybe a little older than Peyton. So can you imagine what that view is, that perspective? Oh, yeah. I know still to this day, I'm not exaggerating. There's at least 50 different kinds of stuffed things.
Uh-huh.
But when I say a whole wall of just deer, I'm talking 50 deer heads.
Insane.
Like the whole house.
Wow.
That's my first animal in the house experience. And my mom was like... Overwhelming. My second one was Mike's aunt, and she had deer leg lamp posts in her house.
Okay, that's like a little much. Is that necessary? Like gross.
It were the hoofs. Like the hoofs are like the like this would be the hoof, and the hoof there was 6 legs. So 2 hoofs. I think 2 hoofs and 2 hoofs. Some had
not just like one leg.
No, like lots of deer with the full fur that went up into the lamp.
Too much.
It's too much.
Too much.
So like I guess I've always found the beauty in hunting and but I've only had really strange, overwhelming experiences when it comes to people stuffing shit and putting it in their house. Because my mother was not having it. Yeah, at all. Like,
Yeah.
not even close to having it.
No, me neither. It's like absolutely out of the picture.
It's scary. And it's weird. It's just the fact that I'm going to walk into Reeves' room to put his laundry away and a fucking...
Maybe you won't. Maybe this is a great time to say, you're a big boy now. You put your laundry away.
You know what? We need to
it.
talk about that because my mother did everything for me, but I didn't really do anything either. My boys are really busy, and so is my daughter. Like, if they weren't in 3 sports, if they didn't actually do homework, if they didn't whatever, like, if I truly made them put their laundry away, I mean, you should see them vacuum. They vacuum so angrily.
They really don't want to do it.
So pissed.
Oh, God.
And we make Reeve clean up dog shit. If I had a video, you'd literally think we were abusing him.
Oh, my God. I'm sure you have recorded
I didn't even want that dog. That's Liv's dog. Why am I out here cleaning up dog shit? Yeah. So they do chores, but laundry is one of the things where I'm just kind of like, you do your job, and I'll help you.
Yeah.
Be successful by not stinking.
By not stinking.
Like me and Jess.
Well, maybe it's time to turn the table so you don't have to scare the shit out of yourself.
All right, speaking of turning the tables, tell me about your favorite Owens. And maybe I was thinking about you a little bit, like pre and post grandparents. That's a little different. Like, I don't want to get sappy, but
the big difference.
Because you've moved it and you've done the hosting. And so just give me like some good before and some good after and visualize it because there's 750 people in your family.
Yeah. I think it's a big distinct before and after for me because it's childhood and adulthood. Oh. So after my grandma died, we started hosting it at our house. So everything when my grandma was here was always at her house. I would stay, and sometimes some of my other cousins for sure would stay on Wednesday night overnight at her house and, that's the only time I'd ever stay at my grandma's house. It wasn't like we did a lot of sleepovers outside.
You were with her constantly.
Ever. Yeah, we were there like every weekend, but it was never an overnight thing for us. Or most weekends we were there a lot growing up, but that was our really only kind of meaningful tradition at like an individual with my grandma.
How many grandkids did she have?
She had 8 kids and they all have at least 2 of their own kids.
So how many first cousins do you have for the audience? Just give me some perspective.
I would say 20. I don't know.
20 first cousins.
Yeah. So we made the stuffing and it's the best stuffing in the world. So I make the stuffing.
Every episode, our recipe Jess makes is the best ever. The best in the world. Her cookie recipe is the best in the world.
It is, and I will not let that go. And
you have to make them for me. Prove it.
I will. I will. And Grandma's stuffing is the best in the world. And mine is not the best yet, but it's the best that I can do. And I'm usually, we're already getting into the fireball at that point when I'm making it. Like Grandma did not do that. She was sober. The tradition was, as kids, stay at Grandma's house, help out, get ready for the whole family to come over. And
just you? And just a couple other?
Started with like my brother and I, and then there was probably like 6 of us who kind of evolved it to be, I would say, roughly.
I love that.
Yeah, and then we would help get set up for the party the next day. And when I see on TV or like some people's pictures, they have like this nice... maybe a big Thanksgiving table for like 10 people to sit around and everybody gets like a plate and they sit down and have a meal. That's not what happens at Grandma Owens' house. There's the table and then there's people standing and then there's tables in the hallway and there's tables in the living room and people are still eating on the couch. There's people everywhere and we do say a prayer and then we eat and everyone just like, you watch the football game, maybe kids go outside and play.
And what's the football game?
The Lions.
Yeah.
Who do we play this year?
I don't know. Isn't it always the Packers?
No, because sometimes maybe it is.
I think it's always the Packers. Okay. Don't kill us in the comments. For 40 years, I think it's been the Packers. I think it's the Lions and the Packers always.
So the Cowboys also always play. So sometimes I thought that maybe we play each other.
Said who?
I'm probably making it up.
I think so.
Whatever, it's fine.
There's only one game and it's our game.
Okay. Well, I know that the Lions always play, but I didn't know who we always played against. It's fine. Someone can fact check us and it's okay. It's just a part of the experience of watching us. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't ever know.
So now, Grandma's died. We host. It was also like... shortly before.
You and Maddie at your house.
Yeah, it was also shortly before COVID, so I think we did have a year where we didn't.
You were
get
losing it
together.
that year. That was tough for you. Everything was changing. Yeah, I get
a
it. I
lot going
totally
on.
get it.
But I think we didn't get together as a family that year.
Yeah.
So I think that, I can't remember for sure though. So whatever. Nonetheless, the next year, I think, was when we hosted for the first time, or maybe we hosted once.
You have a perfect house to host at.
It works.
It's literally perfect.
So the craziest year that we ever had was the power went out the day before. We had a storm and the power went out. And we still were like, we're going to host this thing. So we had the generator on. One of my cousins, so my second cousin, she was very worried that she wasn't going to be able to go to the bathroom because that's what it meant to her, that the power's out. But we were able to run our generator as if we fully had power.
Love.
We only blew like the breaker on the generator once when we had 2 roasters, 2 crock pots, and someone turned on the microwave, and it was just
that microwave's always the one that fries it.
Yeah. So we managed. By the time we were done, we had a full day. We always end up going out into the barn. The barn's warm. Play all of the barn games out there, cornhole, like whatever.
How many people are we talking?
Easily in the 40s. I think we serve about 40 people, give or take a year, right? But this year I was pretty sure we had like 40.
Are you doing it on Thursday?
Yeah. We'll have the Owens family. This particular year, the
hilarious
the
that Maddie married into the Owens family. One brother, super quiet, simple.
Yeah, they have a
y'all are a vibe.
Yeah, and Matt's family is not even close to like the chaos that is the Owens.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I don't really know many.
You're overwhelming. Like it's a Smith family. Like, we're overwhelming if you. Yeah, it takes a minute.
It takes a minute.
Yeah.
The boys who married in as even cousins, right? They have a Snapchat group and they call themselves the Outlaws. So we have See One, Send One, Owens family Snapchat, where we should actually, before we're done recording,
See One, Send One to the Owens family?
Yeah, and tell them that they have to listen.
I remember the first time you and Tara sent me a See One, Send One, I did not know what to do because I am the most novice Snapchatter of all time.
I don't think you use Snapchat, right?
No, and I don't know why, because I think it's fabulous.
So in the Owens group,
it's just something else to respond to.
Understandable. So the Owens group does a See One, Send One, and then the next person that sees it, they'll do one. And so everyone's just doing like a waterfall of cheers. You know what I mean? That. So fun. But then the boys have their Outlaws. So they have their own like bro group of outlaws. I don't know how to describe it. There's a bro group
and the Smith Maji family as well. Smith Maji Wilson bro group.
Not surprised.
And lots of things get communicated in that group text. Most things are supposed to be like, some things are like family secrets get put out there, like someone's pregnant or someone's whatever. And every time you're not supposed to tell anybody. And my husband takes that like, you're not also supposed to tell me. So when his cousin, Brent, who's lived with him, like they're close, like it is literally his brother.
Yeah.
Was when Emily, his wife, who I literally love dearly, was pregnant for their first, shout out to Fee. Everyone in the family knew but me because Maj told Mike not to tell anybody. And he took Mike that as me as well. I'm like, when we got married and we said, and into one, like,
yeah. Like, you always know.
You can tell your wife. And you know me, like, I'm a steel trap. Like, I have always took secrets as compliments, not as something to share. And I'm like, out of all people?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't tell me? He's like, Maj said not to tell anybody, so I didn't.
Well, that's good, too. I mean, he's even more of a steel trap.
I was so annoyed by
Great
that.
Great to know. Love it. Secrets are safe with the Smiths.
So, post-COVID, at your house, what's the same? What's different? Like, what do you miss? What are you proud of? Give me the vibe.
I'm proud that
you're drunk the whole day, too, let's be honest.
Yeah, okay, like good. Boozy, right? Like a good, steady day drinking, for sure.
The best day
I love it.
Ever.
It is so fun. No, I wouldn't say really anything has changed. I think that's what I'm most proud of, or that's what I love the most, and so thankful.
Tradition matters.
Yeah, and everybody's just really happy to be there. We love to get together as a family. Yeah.
So pre-grandparents, pre-kids for me, honestly, because I had my kids young. My grandma died when I was 19. So we continued, and so when I was, we continued to go to the UP. When I mean the UP, like all the way through the bridge right outside of Marquette in a little town called
Yeah, that's a hella hike.
It's a fucking hike. And we would leave Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we would get there. So my mother's whole family lives up there, and just my dad's brother, which is this interesting situation. But they both went to Northern Michigan, so that makes sense. My uncle stayed, and my dad came home. That's how my mom and dad met. And we would drive up there on a Wednesday, and my dad would literally just drop us off and go to his brother's deer camp. So I didn't celebrate Thanksgiving with my dad for...
Wow.
Isn't my mom a fucking boss?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, she's a boss.
Something. Oh, she is. But I'm still processing all of that.
I would literally be like, you're not going to spend Thanksgiving with your family?
Right.
And my mom was like, see ya. She didn't just say it. She truly meant it. And so we would stay at my papa's.
There's something great about that, too.
It was wonderful. So we would stay at my papa's, and we would do all the things we like to do.
Yeah.
We would eat and shop and go to the movies and like literally live.
That's so fun.
Circle the ads, and my dad would be at deer camp with his brother.
Oh, the ads. That's probably the thing I miss, because they just don't exist like that anymore.
It's so great.
Oh my God,
and for
you just
someone
brought
with
up,
my
like, what a
brain
core
who wants to
memory.
put their phone down the toilet and never see it again, a good paper copy of my plan for the day
My plan.
is, you're like, that's funny you say you have a plan.
No. The ads are your plan.
They're my plan. Gotta know where I'm going, what I'm getting. It's all printed. It's circled.
Oh.
The budgets. I actually used to take a...
Do you Black Friday shop then?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Okay.
I mean, I don't anymore, but we used to really get after it. And
Did
we
you
were-
ever fight? I could see you, like, maybe low-key fighting. Like,
No,
bitch,
my
don't touch my
mother
stuff.
would not allow that.
Oh, okay. But would that ever stop Heather?
Yeah, my mother's the
If
one
someone was,
person.
like, taking your shit and...
Out of my car?
Yeah. You'd be like, bitch, back off. I would be. I'm like really confrontational if someone messes with me. I have a bar
I
story
know.
I'm
I
not gonna
met
tell
you
today.
10 years ago.
I know. For the audience.
For the audience. And I love your...
They all
You-
probably know.
You have really evolved.
Period. You have really evolved.
No, I think you're just as objective and just as like black and white as you've always been. But your ability to understand someone else's perspective and then be objective in black and white is like what makes you super special.
Yeah, but if someone steals something from my car...
You're going to fuck them up.
Yeah, thank you, by the way. They said that Jessica's are going to be the new Karen. Did you see that online?
That's so sad for you.
I'll send it to
Heather's
you.
always been a bimbo, so...
I'll send it to you because it actually isn't sad. I'm like, they're right. So the reason is because
Why?
Karens were the most popular name of like a decade or something. And then they have like Lisa's were the next popular in the next decade or something. And then it was like, it's either going to be between Jessica and Jennifer. And so then they described what a Jennifer's like. And they're right. And they
What's
said,
Jennifer like? I have so many
can't
Jennifers
remember.
in my life
like
that I love.
kind of sweet.
Yeah.
And then,
But also...
but Jessica's will fuck you up. Like, do you know a Jessica that won't back down?
No.
So,
Oh, God, no.
So, like, Karen's back off. Jessica's are arriving.
Jessica's alright. That's, you know what? I always felt bad every time. I'm like, that fucking bitch is a Karen. But now how I see how proud you are, like, maybe the Karens are pumped.
Well, Karens have this, like, and I don't think that's the vibe.
Do you know how I feel about Karens?
Okay, what?
Those are the type of people. Like, here's the deal about me, and you'll get to know this. If you steal something out of my cart, and you truly worked harder for it, or you need it more than me,
Oh my God,
I'll
that's
probably give it to you.
Okay, yeah.
But if you're a fucking bitch
Right.
and you roll up to my cart and pretend that or like gaslight me,
Yeah.
or you're rude to me first, or you wink at me funny, like if I can tell your vibe is rude,
Uh-huh. Bitch, back off.
I
That's
will
what
make you
mean.
cry.
Yes. Like a
And
like a
not
bath.
even lose a fucking hour of sleep about it. But I will lose an hour of sleep about perhaps hurting someone's feelings that I care about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Beth Dutton.
You really think I am?
No, I don't. But like that's the exact same, and that's probably the only thing. And maybe that's what I feel.
I
Like too.
love the
That's
fact
why
that
we
she
love
smokes
her.
cigarettes, wears fur,
Yeah,
lives on a farm, loves her father.
with a Bentley.
She has Mercedes.
No, it's a Bentley.
It's a Mercedes.
It's a Bentley.
It was a Mercedes. Perhaps she's got a Bentley now.
Oh, okay. Maybe she blew up the Mercedes.
You're always right and I'm wrong, but I might actually challenge you on this one.
Okay.
She could have blown up this Mercedes, but it was the like expensive Mercedes.
Yeah. Like a 2-seater or something.
No, I think it was a big ass fucker.
It's
like
a Bentley
SE.
now. Okay. Side note.
Jess has
Side
watched the last 2 episodes of Yellowstone. I haven't caught up yet.
Yeah.
I was Beth Dunton for Halloween. We'll
And I
post
love
it.
it.
It was
Yeah.
good. It was a last minute. I told my best friend Christy, I just want to hold a cigarette. That's all I wanted to do. And yeah, I did. So,
And I did.
Pre-COVID or pre-grandparents' loss, pre-me having 3 children and activities, we would go to the UP. So
Yeah.
make the long journey, like to grandmother's house we go.
Yeah,
Like I
literally.
lived that at Christmas and Thanksgiving. Like
Yeah.
over the Mackinac Bridge with the beautiful lights, like seeing the
Yeah.
reindeer. Like it was beautiful. Post-grandparents, it's sort of been a mix. It's kind of been bitter and sweet, I think, at the same time
Sure.
for me specifically, because I have no time for childhood memories that were traumatic and sucky,
Yeah.
but I have a lot of time for the things that I know have enriched my life, and I want to recreate those experiences for my kids.
Fully understand. Sentimental memories. the
Yeah,
things that,
not
like,
only
really-
sentimental, but like my cousins are still my best friends to this
Yeah.
day. Like at the end of the day, they're my ride or die.
Yeah.
Like especially one of them.
Yeah.
Like and you can relate to that. And just
absolutely.
like the relationships and the time and the family and the traditions and like
and you want your kids to be able to have
it doesn't have to be the same
Yeah.
setting is what I've learned
Yep.
throughout the years. Like we can recreate that at Auntie Jen's house with everyone's in-laws.
Yeah.
We can recreate that here. Not everyone has to be here
Yeah.
for it to happen either.
Yeah.
Right? Because at grandma's, everybody was there. And if you
Yeah.
weren't there, it was like, well, where's Jessica? And now it's sort of like you're just grateful for the environment you have. And it's not the environment or the number of people or really the who, just recreating some of that experience with people that you love.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Mike's family tried to burn down like a house we couldn't afford when we bought it, that we love dearly. His mom and dad put a turkey in my oven, like a 430-pound turkey in a tin pan.
430-pound turkey. But like
Jessica?
seriously.
It was the fucking size of this table in a tin pan.
You barely fit in your oven.
Barely.
We did one of those too, and the oil spilled over. Did it catch on fire?
Well, what they did is when they picked it up, and my in-laws are fabulous cooks. Like when I say so
I know.
good.
Amy was cooking the first day we ever recorded, I think. We were like pounding chicken for like 5 hours. Smelled great when I left.
They're the best cooks, and they like it is a labor of love. That's how they And they went to take the turkey out of my oven, and we had the whole it was one of the whole family years. Not only the whole family, but like even Emily's parents from Europe or wherever they were living, or maybe they moved to North Carolina, were here. And they went to take the turkey out of the oven, and the pan collapsed, and the grease blew into my oven.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
And then it was just like you see on TV. The black smoke. We had to evacuate. My nephew Desmond was an infant. It was cold. We had 7 or 8
I'm not
extra
laughing
people
'cause
staying
it's
in our
funny.
house. And it was like when I was like in my sober era. I was just on the front porch with my sister-in-law, like so confused about what to do. And it smelled like burnt skin for a couple days, and then it was. I was afraid we were gonna have to repaint. My father-in-law
That's what I was just wondering.
painted the whole house.
Did you ever have a fire in that house outside of that? Or was that...
Mike
sort
had
of
the chainsaw. That was Christmas. We can talk about that at Christmas. But no fire. My barn burnt down when I was a kid, and my animals died. But as an adult,
Okay.
I've started my house on fire 2 times. Once folding laundry on the counter with a candle going. Like taking your laundry basket and
Yeah.
throwing it on your counter. And you have a candle going.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. We've had so many grease fires with the shit you boil. How many have you had? I mean, they're not even an event anymore.
They're none. Like...
My dad burnt down his truck doing maple syrup when I was Peyton's age. Like almost burned himself and my mom's house down.
I don't think we ever had any accidents. So my dad was a volunteer fireman. So I do think that he was like really critical about fires. So none of them were
That
accidents.
surprises me.
But he has been arrested for arson. And then he got let out without issue.
How did he get that?
I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it. That's all I'm going to say. He's Pat Owens. Like, I don't know.
Got arson and got out of it scot-free. And
Yeah, people don't do that. I don't know.
oh
Anyways, that was not a Thanksgiving event. That was separate.
So I think for Thanksgiving, I mean, the point of this for you and I is that I think not only just for Thanksgiving, but for any holiday, for me, it is about not just family, but anybody who truly wants to be and get together. It's about tradition. It's about carrying on the past. It's about realizing that a past is a part of it, but creating a new present.
Yeah.
And I think for me, just being super flexible and that it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And then just being like really grateful that we even get to have people that we want to be with on that day.
100%.
Like whether it's one person or 20 people. Yeah. So I'm grateful for any days, Thanksgiving being one of them, but I think for holidays, for me, being together is the silver lining.
Yep. Yeah. I have nothing else I can say to that. That's exactly the same here.
That's why our value proposition is Midwest values with little redneck charm. Because I know how important that shit is.
As it is.
So today we clink to each other.
Yeah.
Our families.
No brand. This is just a Thanksgiving thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the people.
The people. Oh, and we have a winner.
Oh my God, Heather, we almost forgot. I almost forgot. You never forgot. Good job.
Do you love that for me?
You're a queen.
Do you love that for us?
All right.
So we have been paying attention across all of our social channels. And so if you remember, I think 2 weeks ago, we said if you say something in our comments and you go to our website and fill out our Contact Us form, you'll win some swag.
Yeah.
So the fun news is that if you actually fill out our Contact Us form, you will expect something from Jessica and I. I'm just going to say before Christmas to not put pressure on either one of us because
like as soon as we are able. And
we have ordered all the things we want to send to you, our dates. We've also realized we're trying to launch during the holiday fall. What the Red Thread House told me is it's winter sports season too.
True. And we will be reaching out to people to coordinate this exchange.
That's right.
If you don't respond, you don't get your swag.
We can't send you your swag
So,
where you live.
Hey.
But my cousin Sarah Martin is our number one contributor on several social platforms.
Number one listener.
She number one listener, and she filled out our form, and she was randomly selected basically by Jess and I.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you call it random? Is that a lie?
I mean,
not really.
Hey, well, let's just be transparent because this is what we said. Everyone's
getting something.
So
yes,
everybody's a winner, and Sarah's really special. And because we know she's been like, she contributes to the social content. She's reached out. So we love that. So we know that she's loving it. So we want to give her something extra special. And so with that said, I will even say we've discussed that periodically when we can, swag availability pending and moving forward, this is not going to be the last time we'll do that. So
correct.
If you're not Sarah and you wish you got the cool swag that we have to offer, then drop a comment. Let us know how much you like every episode. Shout out. Share it with your friends.
And we have cool swag. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you will be happy when our shit arrives in the mail. Yeah. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Like, you'll feel a part of us, which was part of the goal to begin with, is to create a community when our stuff comes. So we will not disappoint, I guess is the point. Totally. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone who filled out our form. Over 20 people, which is, I mean, we didn't even know. We started doing this so we had something to do. Well, not like we need anything more to do, but you know.
Because we're passionate about it.
And my sister-in-law, Taylor, I have to say that too, because she is truly been shouting in us house too. So whether this is make this or we send it as a private cut, we really appreciate all of you, especially those who have not listened to podcasts before and have converted for us. We will clink to that. So
we will clink to that.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Continue to share, listen, send it to a friend. Let us know what you think because we will be doing more random acts of kindness. We might not do a big formal send us a form entry.
Sure, just whatever.
We might not. Yeah. But the more you listen, the more you engage, the more we will reward. So if you want a cool piece of swag, if you want some merch for free, shout us out.
Cool. Clink.
Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy Thanksgiving. I am grateful for you.
I am grateful for you. Thank you for listening to Stirred Up. If you like what you heard, please subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Follow us on your podcast apps. Please send it to a friend. Leave a comment. Add a rating. Every little bit helps. We look forward to seeing you next week.